Doc Talk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.
Hey folks, welcome to Doc Talk. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to have a great show. My guest today, Dr. Mark Hilton. He is a technical consultant with Elanco Animal Health. He's got 33 plus years in practice, whether it was in DeWitt, Iowa, or Purdue University. We're going to talk about preconditioning and about how the profitability of preconditioning can be for you and your herd. Thanks for joining us today. More to come.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
Closed caption brought to you by AgriLabs, the perfect pairing of performance and value.
This segment brought to you by the new Hired Hand Portable Cow Sprayer. For more information, visit cowsprayer.com.
Welcome to the show, Dr. Hilton.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Folks, this is a friend and colleague, Dr. Mark Hilton, and he is someone I've wanted to have on the show for a long time, and we finally get him here. Dr. Hilton has been one of the top bovine practitioners in the country. He had 15 years in DeWitt, Iowa. He then went to the University of Purdue, where he was on faculty there at their veterinary school and really set the stage for a lot of things in preconditioning, cow-calf production medicine, beef cattle systems medicine, and has been a national and international leader here for people like me to follow in his career. He now works at Elanco Animal Health and is a technical consultant, and we're so thankful to have you here.
Thanks, Dan. Pleased to be here. I was really honored when you asked me to come and talk, and we were reminiscing before, and I said, I met you before you even got to vet school. Your dad, the dean at the vet school at Iowa State, brought a bunch of students to my production medicine meeting in DeWitt, so I got to meet you then, and so yeah, we've had a long friendship. That's great.
Been very blessed. We're going to talk about preconditioning today,
yes.
and some of the things that you said that when we're getting ready for this is that feedlots have a pretty good idea of the value of a preconditioned calf, and maybe some of our producers that own those calves prior to sale don't.
Right, and I've spent most of my career working with a cow-calf producer, and that producer works really hard. They deserve to have more profit in a lot of situations, and one of the ways they can do that, and I believed, was that preconditioning calves could be very profitable for the cow-calf producer. So I actually had a producer in Indiana that said, hey, I want to do this program, and he kept track of every bit of his expenses and his revenues from preconditioning calves to help prove to himself and prove to me, prove to other people that this was a profitable situation. And the bottom line is we had 11 years worth of data on this herd, every penny that he spent on this herd. And I'm a bottom line guy, so I'm going to give you the answer right off the bat.
Right.
Over the 11 years, his average profit return to labor and management was $80.70 per calf. He preconditioned those calves 63 days was his average over the time period. So very significant to his farm. Over the course of the time, it was $90,000 extra dollars return to his labor and management for doing this procedure.
Yeah, and when you start to think about ways to build value into the cattle, which then builds value into your herd, builds a reputation of your herd. Yes. There are some things that maybe don't show up as direct marks to the bottom line, but obviously there are some huge opportunities for producers to recoup.
Right. And we sat there and said, where's this money coming from? Where did he make his money? Because so many things you read, oh, I took my preconditioned calves to the sale and I didn't get any more money than the neighbor, that his were not preconditioned, etc. And I get tired of hearing those stories, because are we comparing apples to apples? Do we have the whole story? So we found in this herd that of the $80.70, $50.70 of the profit was from weight gain. Only $30 was due to the, I don't like to use the term preconditioned bonus, I call it the health price advantage, because that's why those producers are paying more for preconditioned calves, because he's less likely to get sick. So 50 of the $80 was things under his control.
Perfect. Folks, when we come back, we're going to dig into some of the data, learn what happened over those 11 years, understand the costs, understand where the money is made. We have Dr. Mark Hilton here from Elanco Animal Health. More after these messages.
The BQA Tip of the Day, sponsored by Beringer Engelheim Vetmedica, Inc.
Howdy, I'm Kurt Pate with the Tip of the Day. We deal with a lot of bulls around this place, and we get along with them pretty good because we work them a lot. And if you work them properly and move them quite a bit, the fighting will reduce, and every time you move them, they learn to take pressure, and then when you start to work with them, they don't start fighting each other.
Say this is a calf that's been run through the chute a few too many times. Going through the chute stresses cattle, causing them not to eat like they should. Luckily, Pyramid 5 plus Presponse SQ provides proven protection against key respiratory diseases in a single shot, with just one trip through the chute. Talk to your veterinarian about Pyramid 5 plus Presponse SQ, and soon your calves will relax and eat like a whole different animal.
Still using ineffective fly tags on your cattle? It's time to eliminate fleas, ticks, flies, lice, and parasites, and at the same time, give them a shiny coat, making them more valuable. One fly tag can cost $2.50, but you can do this all for about a nickel a head. Introducing the Cow Sprayer, designed and built in the U.S. The Cow Sprayer is portable, solar-powered, and comes with a 25 or 40-gallon tank. Eliminate parasites for about 5 cents a head with the Cow Sprayer. Cowsprayer.com.
Do your cattle struggle with pink eye, BRD, or another disease? Contact Newport Laboratories for a customized solution. Our custom-made vaccines are produced using the specific diseases found in your area. These USDA licensed vaccines offer potential cost savings on vaccine and labor. Contact your veterinarian or Newport Laboratories the next time your cattle are in need of a custom solution. Newport Laboratories custom-made vaccine, because every situation is different.
This Medford, New Jersey school bus runs on biodiesel, and so do these. In fact, all of these buses run on clean-burning biodiesel, which is great because the more we use biodiesel in our heavy-duty vehicles, the less carbon pollution in our air. Think how great it would be if more of our school buses ran on biodiesel. More biodiesel, less carbon pollution. More is less. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
This segment brought to you by the new Hired Hand Portable Cow Sprayer. For more information, visit cowsprayer.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to Doc Talk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Mark Hilton. We're at Kansas State University where we're shooting Doc Talk. And Dr. Hilton is one of those people that has been in practice for 15 years, been at the university for 15, and is now a technical consultant at Elanco Animal Health, and he is taking that information to get him here on the show. We're talking about preconditioning. Your work in preconditioning and weaning calves has been something that all of us have used in teaching, and we're very appreciative of the work and the collaboration you've had with the producers in Indiana. Talk to me a little bit about this 11-year study, and let's get into some of the specifics on preconditioning.
So when this producer started this, Indiana started a program called Indiana Quality Plus Beef. I'd been in practice in Iowa. The green tag program was super everybody used it. I mean, it was just unusual if a person didn't use that program. So in Indiana, I thought, hey, we need a program like that. So we started this program, and I got hooked up with this producer in southern Indiana, and he said to me, I'm not making enough money with my cattle. This is a lot of work, and I want to see a way to make more money. And we talked to him about this program, and he said, I want to try it. I want to see how this goes. And he actually made some money the very first year, about $30 per calf. So that got his attention on the thing. But as we delved into it, his nutrition wasn't good enough on those weaned calves. So we came in and had him work with a nutritionist to put a really good ration together. The first year on the program, his calves gained 1.21 pounds a day. That's terrible. And with a little bit of change in genetics, but a lot of change in nutrition, using an implant, using some ionophore, the calves were gaining 2.87 to 3 pounds a day 5-6 years later when we were on this program. And that's where we realized some of the keys to him making money on his preconditioning program. Number one was average daily gain. The more the calves gained, the more money he made.
And see, I think that some people will have that, they are concerned about pushing those calves too hard because they're afraid of getting them too fleshy.
Oh, yes, I've heard that hundreds of times. So he sold over 1,100 calves, a little over 100 cow herd. He sold 1,100 calves, never got a single calf with a fleshy discount. So they had the right genetics to do this. We weren't pushing a bunch of starch to them. We were using a lot of byproduct feeds, distiller's grain, soy hulls, high fiber feeds that added growth and not fat. The feedlots that bought these calves bought them year after year after year because they loved them. They did super for him. I read about, the health issues and things like that. In the 11 years, 1,100 calves, he had one calf he treated for sickness, a bloat. He had 3 calves that he lost to death. A chronic pneumonia calf, a bloat calf, and a calf that died because of an accident. So death loss and sickness rate in this backgrounding lot was a non-issue. And I see publications about this, and they're scaring the cow-calf producer about these things, and then, I better not do that. And we just did not see that. There was not a problem.
Well, it's just outstanding information. So first of all, folks, genetics, nutrition, steroid implant, getting the proper amount of average daily gain. When we come back, we'll discuss some more about some of the costs and some of the things that are offset by weight gain, preconditioning herds. Dr. Mark Hilton's here. Thanks for joining us.
Some call it a come-from-behind victory, an unlikely win, a reversal of fortune, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This is our moment, our victory dance, because we choose confidence. We choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Ask your veterinarian to prescribe Zuprevo. Zuprevo is a fast-acting, long-lasting BRD treatment that you can count on to get the job done. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health.
If my calves start healthy and stay healthy, I've got a good shot at making money. That is why I trust Clostrix. It gives my calves the protection they need until their own immune systems kick in.
Calf raisers trust Colostrix colostrum supplements. Colostrix is USDA licensed and proven effective. When your money is on the line, trust Colostrix.
I've always had an interest in care for the animals and their well-being. Really what we want to do is work hard to eliminate as much feedlot lameness or beef cattle lameness as possible.
How we feed a cow on a daily basis can not only have daily effects, but they can also have long-term effects on claw health, reproductive performance, mammary health, all of those factors as we look at the inputs and the response that the animal has to what we feed them.
When animals have adequate intake of effective nutrients, we take care of the immune system and performance follows. It's important that the consumers understand our dedication to the well-being of these animals.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Mark Hilton. We're here at Kansas State University. Dr. Hilton has spent his career in bovine practice and at the University of Purdue, and we're so thankful to have him here to talk to us about the lessons learned in preconditioning. And I know this was a special topic for you because of not only the working with the cattle, but the producers that and specifically one family that worked with you. But in this study, talk to us a little bit about, well, I hear people say, I'm not going to make any money, or it's not worth it to me. Yeah. What have we learned about some of the economics?
Yeah, like I said, we were really surprised in this 11-year study because there was one of the years that the market actually turned south when he was preconditioning his calves, and he was really concerned. He said, "Well, I think you found a year that I'm going to have lost money preconditioning," and he didn't. Because the feed cost was so low that year, he actually made it. So all 11 years he made money preconditioning the calves. The average of the entire 11 years was $80.70. And again, I emphasize the big deal was weight gain. And you don't know what the calves are going to bring at the auction. You don't have control over that. You have control over what the calves gain. I also, the last 3 years on the program, I said, I want you to keep track of every minute that you spend on these calves. And we want to figure an hourly wage. What was your hourly wage for preconditioning these calves? And it was between, I'm going to look at my notes because I can't remember exactly, $55 and $130 an hour. And I always say to my students, I said, I can't think of much legal you can do to make $130 an hour. And the other thing that he did that I thought was really neat, he had a whole herd financial analysis done of his beef herd, a SPA analysis. Everything, kept track of all of his finances for a year. And that year, I don't remember, it was in the mid-90s, he made $20 per cow per year for owning those beef cows, which was pretty typical. And so he called me after he got the financial analysis done. He goes, let me get this straight. I own the cow for 12 months and I make $20. I own the calf for an additional 2 months and I make $80. So I make 4 times more money for owning the calf for 2 months than the cow for 12. He said, why is everybody not doing this? And I said, well, people get bad information that it isn't cost effective, or they don't understand that, it's really possible to do this. And he says, well, I want you to use my data everywhere to teach the cow-calf producer to do this, and I've always said in my career, these guys work way too hard to not make enough money. And people will say, well, who should precondition? If you have above average health and above average genetics, you should precondition your calves. If you have below average of both those, then you shouldn't.
And tell me a little bit about why we would or why we wouldn't if we don't have the right genetics or health.
Because the health, if you have a bunch of sickness in those calves in the preconditioning period, that's going to hurt average daily gain on these calves. You could lose calves. If your genetics are not good enough, you're not going to have calves gaining 2.5 to 3 pounds a day. They need to have the genetic ability to gain that kind of weight. If the calves only have the ability to gain about a pound, pound and a half a day, you're not going to, I've done the math, and you're not going to make it. I just did the cost analysis for this fall, and cost of gain, some rations we put together were 40 cents per pound of gain. Calves are selling for $1.50. When you figure the price slide in there, every additional pound you put on the calves is gaining you $1. So let's see. I'm going to hand you 40 cents, and you're going to hand me $1. How long? I'd do that as long as we could do it.
I've been involved in a few deals like that on the wrong end.
Yeah, but that's the way 40 cents to make $1. It's amazing to me that why isn't everybody doing this? That's my question.
Great. Folks, when we come back, we'll do a wrap-up on preconditioning economics and profitability here with Dr. Mark Hilton.
Did you know long-range planning through the checkoff can help keep your business profitable? To successfully pass on cattle operations from one generation to the next, it's important to promote beef and keep farms and ranches profitable. Your Beef Checkoff helps do that.
My family owns and operates Empire Dairy here in Wiggins, Colorado. My father-in-law, Jack Denige, he came here from Portugal, and he has a long history of milking cows in his family, and they started milking in the United States in 1989. My husband Norm and my brother-in-law Bill, a partner in the dairy. And you don't normally think about maybe the beef checkoff when you're a dairy producer, But there's certainly a lot that the checkoff does for dairy producers. We're about 20% of the beef supply. So Beef Quality Assurance has helped dairy producers by giving us some new tools and some new perspectives about things that we do on the dairy and how that translates into a beef carcass at the end of their life cycle. So some things that we talk about are injection site, loading and handling procedures to minimize bruising and we want to keep that animal in the best condition possible, not only for the health and welfare of the cow, but at the end of its production cycle, we want to produce a quality product that we can enter into the beef supply. At the end of the day, the more successful operation you can have, the better chance you give your kids to be able to carry on and continue in this industry. Norm and I have 3 kids that we hope someday will want to come back and take care of these cows and take care of this land.
Still using ineffective fly tags on your cattle? It's time to eliminate fleas, ticks, flies, lice, and parasites, and at the same time, give them a shiny coat, making them more valuable. One fly tag can cost $2.50, but you can do this all for about a nickel a head. Introducing the Cow Sprayer, designed and built in the U.S. The Cow Sprayer is portable, solar-powered, and comes with a 25 or 40-gallon tank. Eliminate parasites for about 5 cents a head with the Cow Sprayer. Cowsprayer.com.
It's easy to spot the man who uses Synanthic. With lower volume and less waste, Synanthic steps up your deworming routine. Get more deworming with less dewormer at Synanthic.com.
Beringer Ingelheim Vetmedica Inc. knows the importance of beef quality assurance and asks you to step up and get certified. Go to bqa.org for details.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hey folks, welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Mark Hilton, who is a veterinarian with Elanco Animal Health, former practitioner in DeWitt, Iowa, former faculty member at the University of Purdue. We're thankful to get him here to be on the show. When we're talking about preconditioning, you've kind of got us to the point now of just kind of a wrap up in general. What are some bullet points for our people out there saying, well, I need to precondition this year? What are some things you would do to kind of get the ball rolling?
So I've asked my producers that. I said, why? What was successful for you on this program? And almost to the client, they said, a team approach. You brought in the health aspect, but we needed nutrition help. So we got our feed dealer involved. We got the nutritionist from that feed dealer involved. I called the local feeder auction and said, hey, we're going to have these preconditioned calves. Are you going to have a special sale? Yeah, we've got this special sale, and here it is. And so that's what they've told me, is that if they can get 2 or 3 people to help them that are all on the same page, helping them with the profitability of their calves, then it's pretty easy to get there.
So get the vet on board, get the nutritionist on board, get a hold of the person that's marketing the calves, get a game plan together. It's one of those things that folks, you're leaving money sit on the table. I know that I know that you sit there and you say, well, it's easier to go out there, gather the calves, put them on the truck, hit the truck on the back and say it's somebody else's problem now.
Right. And I think we should be past that. We didn't talk at all about animal welfare, and that's a whole nother leg of this stool of preconditioning. Most producers want to be proud of their calves when they leave that farm or ranch. And if that calf's fully preconditioned, weaned, vaccinated, bunk broke, ready to go, that next guy's going to have a success. And I always told our cow-calf guys, I said, you really should want the feedlot owner to get rich feeding your calves. Because if he does, he's going to come back. And this herd, my test herd, he sold the calves through the auction market for the first 3 years, and the buyers loved his calves. And they said, we're going to be there to buy your calves. We know what your calves did for us.
And it's no different than packers or anything. They're keeping track of the information, and information is knowledge if you have the information.
Right. Yeah.
and they've got it, and that's the reason why you get repeat visits, you get premiums, things to that nature.
You bet. Yeah, these calves have a resume.
Hey, it's a great way to put it. Well, thanks a million for being on the show.
You bet.
Thank you for watching Doc Talk. Remember, always work with your local veterinarian, and if you want to know more about what we do here on Doc Talk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Mark Hilton. Thank you so much for watching Doc Talk and being great guests. I'll see you down the road.
Closed caption brought to you by AgriLabs, the perfect pairing of performance and value.
For more information about this program or previous programs, go to doctalktv.com. Doc Talk was brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.